So awesome. Welcome to Tamara's Closet today. I'm really thrilled to be back on air, and I have, and especially to have such a talented guest with me today, my first time back. She is a very talented bassist and singer, currently with the tribute band Zipporah, and she's from Dallas, Texas, currently residing in Los Angeles. And we'll be sharing some of her inspiration today. And she's been with several Dallas-based bands and has kind of branched out her own with a new album out, MOKITA, which I'm going to have her talk about later on. And she also has her own taco sauce, which we're going to do a giveaway at the end today. So make sure you comment on whatever live feed you're watching so that we can see that you're here. So I want to go ahead and bring her out and give a warm welcome to Holly West. Hi, Holly.
Hello.
I'm so glad you're with us today. I'm really excited that to have you as my first guest because we've taken a break for a little bit of while, and it's really refreshing with all that's going on in the world just to have some inspiration today, and I'm really excited about that. So I want to I always like to start back from kind of your childhood to get a little bit of inspiration from what you like to listen to when you were growing up. What's your earliest memory of music that you have when you were growing up? Is there a song or what type of music?
Yeah, when I was younger, I really liked kind of dance music, or kind of soulful pop music like Whitney Houston. I enjoyed Belinda Carlisle, just things that made you really dance, and I enjoyed the production of it a lot. Just listening to how the production had changed over, from the 70s to the 80s and 90s, and just how I don't know, some bands kind of stuck out to me that way, but I also enjoyed the classic rock. And when I was younger, my dad listened to a lot of classic rock, and my mom listened to kind of a lot of pop. So I had a mix of both genres growing up, and I really enjoyed the classic rock more. But some of the older kind of pop music really inspires me too.
What was some of the classic rock bands that you liked? Can you name a couple or?
Yeah, like I remember when I was driving, or I was riding in the car with my dad, and I think there was a song that came on, and I asked him who it was, and he said Tom Petty. So like, okay, I like Tom Petty, and I kept a little checklist of things that I liked, and my mom had given me a tape of Cheap Trick's greatest hits when I was really young, and I didn't understand it because I didn't know that I liked that band, but apparently there was a song that came on the radio when we were riding around, and I told my mom that I liked that song. So for Christmas, that's what she gave me, was their tape, and I couldn't remember what song it was. So I just thought that that's what I was supposed to be listening to, right? So I listened to a lot of Cheap Trick, and I'd have my friends come over, and I'd dress up in a cape and a wig and some lipstick and sunglasses, and I would have them like turn the lights up and on and off and like a strobe light, and I'd be singing into a broom, and I was always putting on some kind of like little concert or something.
So it sounds like you were always kind of and you weren't shy, and you were a little animated as a child, I guess, or
yeah. I mean, not to my friends, I wasn't shy, but I was pretty shy around other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but your parents, so they listened to pop and classical rock. Did you ever, was classical music ever, because I noticed you play the acoustic guitar. Was classical music ever?
I started listening to classical when I was young, kind of at nighttime, because I thought it was interesting. But my parents never really listened to that much. And they listened to a lot of disco. They loved to dance. So they loved to dance to disco. And in the evenings when they put us to bed, my brother and I would sneak out and look over the wall and look at them dancing in the living room. That was their little exercise that they would get. So they met at a dance club. So my parents like to dance.
Oh,
That kind of music around and stuff. But classical, I kind of listened to on my own. And I was learning classical guitar before I picked up bass. I really wanted to do that. I still have my classical guitar. I just haven't touched it in years.
yeah. Well, when I saw that video of you on Facebook, you know, with your guitar the other day, I was really excited because I love the acoustic guitar too. And so I was like, oh, she plays it too. So I just think that's really nice, you know, that you have that broad expansion there with your music and your instruments, I guess, as well.
Yeah, I'm still learning a lot. Like I just started learning piano. I've been kind of producing and arranging music for quite a while, probably since right before I started playing bass. And so I really understand a lot about the different instruments working together and things like that. And it's always been I don't want to be a composer, like classical composer or anything. I don't want to go that far, but I enjoy, you know, the production side of things and putting things together from end to end.
Right. I would think that would be fun too. That's the part I like about photography is planning things and set designs and stuff. So I understand your passion for that. How do you remember how old you were when you picked up your first instrument, or how old were you when you started? And what was your first instrument? I'm just assuming it was a guitar.
It was a guitar, but the thing was that my father had bought a very cheap acoustic at a garage sale or pawn shop or something. It was like $20, and so it wasn't going to be anything that was going to be easy to play. And I honestly didn't have an outlet to go, and we didn't have any teachers around. We didn't know anybody that taught guitar. My dad had to take it somewhere to get tuned, so it always ended up in my closet. It always ended up in my room. And he always wanted to play it, but I would always end up with it, even though I couldn't play it. And I just liked to look at it and thought it was beautiful, and I really wanted to pick it up and start playing it. So that was the first thing I collected. And then after that, there was a keyboard that our neighbor was selling at her garage sale. And I begged my parents all day to have that keyboard. I think it was like $20 or something. And they did not want me to have it for some reason. They said, well, if nobody gets it by the end of the day. And so I sat there and I played on it the whole day so nobody would take it. And I got it. And then I started, there was like an intro song or something on there, and I started kind of feeling around and finding the notes by ear at that point. But it wasn't until, you know, 5th, 6th grade that I got into band at school, and I played clarinet. I kind of wish I played percussion. I think that would have done me a lot more in the future, but I didn't know that I was going to pick up the guitar later on. And I did when right in the middle school, I started playing and taking lessons. But I didn't get very far. I don't know why. Nothing really connected the way that it does now.
Uh-huh.
I'm not really sure why, and I think a lot of musicians go through that, especially at first. There's so much to learn, and if you don't have the right person instructing you the easy way to do things, because it's really not that hard. It's just your perception of it and what you allow yourself to learn. And so I had some great teachers, but I never had that spark, you know. And it wasn't until later on that I really got serious about myself.
Right. So did you mostly after that just kind of teach yourself along the way, or?
Well, it wasn't until I was in my late 20s that I even got in my first band. and that's when I started playing bass. Right before that, I was relearning guitar. I hadn't played in many years, and I had I had some nice guitars. I just didn't really know how to play them very well. I was a collector. And
Right.
so until I got into my first band, and I started playing bass in my first band, and it was very hard because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't really. I knew the names of the strings at that point. Everything else had escaped me, and so to learn all of that music in the matter of a few weeks to go play a show it was just all I could do is practice those 10 songs that my friend wrote, and it was like that's all I could do for like the first year or so that I was in a band. And then when I got into my second band is when I really started taking music more seriously and learning more about it.
Right.
Started writing more on guitar.
Right. Well, when did you start? Did you sing at all as a child? I mean, when did you find out? When did you discover you had a voice? I love your voice.
Thank you. Yeah, I get a lot of compliments on my tone, which just came out of nowhere, honestly. I put my record out in 2017. It was my debut record for vocals and me being a front person. And so basically, I had sent some demos to a good friend of mine who was also the engineer on my record, Chris Bell, and he's worked with so many different artists, and he was blown away by my tone. I figured if he's blown away by my tone, then I've got something there. So I just kept working on it, and I think that's part of it. I never thought that I could sing because I didn't know how to get past, the head voice, throat voice thing. I didn't know how to connect the things and to really work on it. And when I started really working on my voice, and I also started playing more acoustic guitar and singing with acoustic guitar, and that's when I really found it. But it wasn't just a few years ago, really. When I was younger, I kind of lived with the bully, the school bully. That was my brother, and so I wasn't really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I wasn't really allowed to express myself the way that I think I should have been able to when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
So I think it really, it deterred me a long time to get back to playing music because it's such a big expression of yourself, and if you're going to give yourself to the world, you just kind of have to let go of other people's ideas about it. So it wasn't until later on when I finally found my voice, and I do a lot of acoustic stuff now. Obviously not since COVID started, but as soon as it lifts up a little bit, we're able to do acoustic shows. I'll be out there doing more.
Yeah, that'll be nice. I'm looking forward to things getting back. But I know you. But your parents, were they in the other than your dad had the guitar? Were they in the arts in any way, or just like the average person listening to music?
Just average person listening to music. Both of them. They were more on the dancing side.
Yeah.
They could win a dance competition.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they have. They've won a lot over the years. A lot of disco, a lot of salsa or Texas swing, that kind of stuff. That was their forte. And I never really. I don't know. I always feel very awkward and not uncoordinated, but except for when I've got like an instrument in my hand, but it's actually my father's mother's side are all musicians or singers or both. When I was younger, there were two different tapes that I would come across usually whenever I was like going through the music stuff. Like we'd have boxes of tapes, and we didn't have CDs at that point, but records and tapes and whatever. And there were two of them that I always come across. One was my uncle and one was my aunt. So they were recording artists. My aunt used to, they were country artists. So I'm actually from Oklahoma. So a lot of country up there. And yeah, so my aunt actually did some touring in Europe. And then my uncle did a lot of touring here in the States. They both are just so talented, gorgeous voices, and every time they would always get together and play and sing, and it was really nice. And that was my great grandfather could, you know, he played by ear, and wonderful guitar player and singer, and it just trickled down in that respect. But my sibling, he doesn't play. My parents don't play, and that's probably another reason why it took so long to get me to start, playing. But
Yeah, were they supportive of you when they saw you were interested? Were they supportive?
Not at first. I had to really stand my ground when I was a teenager to get a guitar. I mean, I paid for it and everything, but to get guitar lessons and stuff. But once they realized that I was happy to do it, or happy doing it, they saw the need for it. And when we moved away, I decided not to get lessons. I decided to just kind of teach myself again. But then I made the major mistake of getting fingernails. I can't play guitar with fingernails. I don't know. Dolly Parton can, but I can't. So when I finally, I think I was in college before I even went back and lessons again.
Yeah.
And so it took a long time for me to finally go, okay, I want to play. And then when I finally did it, it was just, okay, this is what I was supposed to be doing. Because I was a hairdresser for 18 years.
See, that's so long. You had said that. Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time. And the past 8 years the last 8 years of that, I was a musician full time as well. And that's why I quit doing hair, because I really needed to choose one. I couldn't go another, decade doing both. It's a lot of stress. I was under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So, and I quit doing that a little over a year ago, and I'm happy that I did, and I chose music, even though it's been a really big struggle. It has not been easy at all.
Well, do you miss doing hair at all, or do you miss doing hair?
I did so much with hair. I even worked on cruise ships. So I've traveled the entire world doing hair.
Wow.
I did Barbara Bush's hair at one point, and
Awesome.
I've done homeless people's hair. I've done everybody's hair. So I was just done with hair. So no, I don't really miss it that much. I do my own now, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't done a haircut since I quit.
Yeah, and you did it 18 years. Wow.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it longer than that. I'm not going to say how long I've been doing it, but a long time.
Yeah, and I started in high school. We had our program in high school, so I started cutting hair in high school.
So you started a lot earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to. Yeah, I didn't go after school or anything. That was my career that I chose, and I was very, very lucky to go to a school that I did. My high school that I went to had a lot of vocational programs. I was in auto mechanics at one point. They had small mechanics, horticulture. It was a 70-acre campus, and a lot of the kids from the different school districts would come to our programs, because in Oklahoma you don't have to have. It's not ISD. It's not independent school districts.
Right.
So if you can make it to school, then you can come, within reason, of course. So I ended up switching schools in the middle of my high school career, and I'm so glad that I did, because the school that I went to allowed me to get a really good education in a trade.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, I was just really thrilled when you told me when we first met you did hair, or maybe it was Mike that told me, Michael Powell. Hey, Michael. Yeah. I hope we ended up we had a little slow start, so I hope we're on Facebook, but we're on Twitter and YouTube for sure. So, Who was the most instrumental person or mentor when you were young, would you say that, or, that kind of helped nudge you along? Was there anybody when you just got
Well,
started?
I mean, I guess I guess there wasn't any one person since I was a kid because of the fact that my career was so up and down playing music. I would do something and then I wouldn't do it for a long time, and then I would do something and then I wouldn't do it for a long time. So I mean influential like myself. I had to really motivate myself. But to break out of that box, the one person that I still have in my life, and we've had a lot of ups and downs ourselves, but her name is Kess O'Hara, and she was the singer and rhythm guitar player in my band Honey. And she's from Australia, and she actually lives here in San Diego, like because I'm actually not in Los Angeles. I'm more in San Diego these days, but she lives in Point Loma, which is right around the corner at this point. And so it's really nice to be back with her again because we had been separated for several years. But when she came to Dallas, she was living in San Francisco, and she came to Dallas to start this band with me. And she kept telling me, what I needed to start learning and what I needed, to really branch out. And I thought that she was really teaching me a lot. And so she's the one that kind of inspired me to go, okay, let me get my stuff together and like really dig deep into theory and understanding what I'm playing and understanding how, everything goes together, and so that we can also write together. We wrote some awesome songs, and we did really, really well. And we're both still going. We're both still full-time musicians. So, but we talk almost every day, and I think she's been a big influence in my life for sure.
Do you like writing music or?
Yeah, I really do. I started writing poetry when I was about 9 years old, and I don't know why. I just could write. I could just sit down and write. And in school, I did it a lot. I would just write. I have stacks and stacks of poetry, and I turned a lot of those into songs, but I didn't know how to play the instruments. That's kind of what really got me into wanting to play the instruments behind maybe, because I could write. And so so yeah, I mean, I enjoy that part of it. I remember when I was 13 or 14, I'd wake up before school every day, and I would listen to a song that I liked, and I would try to write the lyrics out because we didn't have Google search back then, and nobody had the lyrics up on
Yeah.
on the computer. So I would write all of the lyrics that I could understand every morning before school. I have my earphones in and as much time as I could, and so that would get me going for the day, and I'd start writing during the day. I'd write different poetry or songs and things like that. None of that really made it to songs these days, but nowadays, I mean, I have a lot on my computer that I can work with, and I have all these different equipment and lots of different basses and guitars and stuff, and so I can sit here and write a lot. I like to write with drummers. I like to jam a lot too and see what comes out of that. So there's a lot of different ways that I do write, but yeah, I love the writing process.
Good, good. So it sounds like for you, the kind of words come first, and then maybe the tune comes after that, or has it been a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. A lot of times in my head, like if I have a song pop in my head, it's the riff first and then the lyrics. But it's hard
Okay.
to write them down at the same time. So I do a lot of voice memos.
Uh-huh.
A lot of humming, and so I have a lot of those that I have to go through. And so what I'll do with those is I'll kind of pick them out, and see if anything comes out of them.
Yeah.
But when I wrote MOKITA, I spent 2 weeks on lyrics only because
Really?
if I wanted to find, I felt like I could really capture the melody better that way and create the the melody of the song, or the guitar parts and the riffs and stuff around the vocal melody. And so that's kind of what I did with a lot of that stuff. And a lot of my acoustic stuff is written that way as well. I think if you can play a song on acoustic, it'll be a great rock song. And so a lot of the stripped back versions, or the first versions, are done, on acoustic with just the lyrics, and then you build around that, and it just makes things, seem bigger too. And when you finally get to play them on stage and they're so big, it's really, really exciting. There's a lot of songs that I've written that way, where they're just, kind of innocent little acoustic songs, and then you get the full band in there working together, and they're like, okay, make it louder, make it bigger, and it just becomes this big thing, and it's really nice. It's really awesome.
Yeah. So what was the inspiration behind Makeda? Like, did each song just build from something that's going on in your life, or how did that happen when you just started putting the whole album together?
I did the album in about 9 months, from the beginning of like knowing I wanted to do it to the end to when it came out. It was about 9 months, and I wanted it to be kind of short and sweet, just get it out there because it's my first record. And I knew that I wanted to put a cover song on there because your fans really enjoy cover songs, and there's a lot of times where if it's a person coming to your show for the first time and they hear a cover song and they've never heard any of your songs, they're probably going to remember the cover song. So I think it's really important to put one of those on the record. So I chose Led Zeppelin, When the Levee Breaks, because I felt like I could deliver that. And I also felt like it's a song that I just absolutely love because I grew up on Zeppelin and I love Zeppelin. And this all happened before I got in Zipporah, so it just that was a coincidence. But I really wanted to do that cover song, and I did. I mean, it's 7 minutes long, but we pulled it off, so that's great, right? The other 4 songs, I wanted to be as creative as possible. The first song, Memo, is it's about something that happened with a guy, and I told him off, and sometimes that happens,
Yeah.
I think sometimes that happens, it's just like that whole, I don't know, just relationship type of thing, and it just goes sour, and you tell them off, whatever. Okay, so that song is about that.
We're allowed to do that. We're artists. We can do that.
Yeah, we're supposed to do that. That's how I get my anger out.
Normal.
Justified is about liars, and I really wanted a cool bass line song. And I've got 2 on there, obviously. MOKITA is 2, but I wanted a really cool, fun bass line, and everybody can enjoy a song about liars, right? So that's what that's about. Home is a personal favorite of mine, and a personal favorite of a lot of people's, actually. It has some very powerful vocals, and I really wanted that in at least one of the songs. It's about aliens. It's literally about aliens.
Yeah.
The bridge is about an alien abduction, and I definitely believe that we're not alone. I've seen some very interesting things in the sky myself. My parents will tell you that they've seen a UFO. Like stopped on a bridge with everybody out looking at this thing, kind of UFO. Like it's just it. And I think there are a bunch of documents. I haven't looked at them, which is crazy to me because there's so much going on. But there's a bunch of documents released by the CIA or something about all these aliens and stuff. So I'm excited to hear about all that stuff. But aliens are cool. They're really fun. I made that little lyric video and put aliens in it and stuff. And I think it's fun. I like aliens.
No, I think that's neat. No, I was curious about that one. That's why I wanted to know because I wondered
Yeah.
where that came from. And no, I think that's not. I love watching documentaries on things like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Aches and Aliens, awesome. But you know, I also wrote it for another reason. You know, I when you feel alienated or you feel alone, you feel like there's nobody on this earth that's really your people, and you just feel like um, they're you want to go home, you want to go to where people understand you or people accept you. And I think life boils down to we all want to be loved and we all want to be accepted. And so when you feel like you're at home and you're accepted by people, it's a good feeling. So that song has two different meanings to it to me, but it's really about aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And then the cover track is Mokita, and Mokita. The way that I got that name is I wanted something that felt right. I wanted something that meant something to me, and for the album. And I wanted something that nobody really understood. That little bit of mystery in there. Oh, what is Mokita? What is that? So Mokita comes from the language called Kavila. It's spoken in Papua New Guinea, and the translation is the truth we all know but we don't speak about, or like the elephant in the room. And so the thing about this record was nobody knew me as a singer and nobody knew me as a front person. They a lot of people just knew me as a bass player. And so to put this record out, I thought that it would be kind of a talking point for a lot of people, and it did. It was a kind of a turning point in my career to go, okay, I can do something bigger. And I joke about it, but I made that. I made it in 9 months. It's like my baby. I don't want physical children, but I like to have records. It's like, so, it's my life's work at this point, right? So everything that I've learned and put into it is in this little thing. So it's a bigger than life type of thing. And so Elephant in the Room kind of struck me as something something cool. And so then I thought, okay, so how can I word some lyrics around this? Because I had some lyrics I'd already written about something like this. And so Mokita, when like one of my favorite bands in the whole world is King's X, and they have a lot of songs. I mean, they're like, I don't know, over 100 songs. They've been around forever, and very inspiring. It's a three-piece, and the bassist is a singer, and he's got one of the best rock voices ever. And he writes. I remember being at one of his shows in Dallas, and I was in a weird situation because there were people at that show that I didn't really get along with, and they were standing behind me, and I had a lot of anxiety about it. We've all been in a room with people we don't like or that we've had some beef with or something. And so it really was getting to me, and I was listening to the lyrics that he was singing from their song In a Box. And it says, there is no room inside a box. And I just felt myself kind of lift up, and like everything was okay. And so Makeda is about, the elephant in the room, and if you got beef with somebody, just go talk it out, or just let it go, or something happens, you can talk about it. And kind of like what's going on right now. You have so many people that don't want to talk to each other. They've got their opinion and they've got their opinion, and they do not want to cross opinions. And a lot of the stuff can be talked about.
Mhm.
I watched a documentary, a short documentary the other day. This this writer, he was a journalist, and he was a black journalist, and he would go to these KKK rallies to talk to the leader of the KKK rallies, and they became friends. And then the KKK guy ended up leaving the KKK, and
Oh,
that's it. That's part of it. It's like we just need to talk about it, because we just need to talk to each other, because like I said, we all want love, and we all want acceptance, and I think a lot of that is lacking now. And so that's kind of what that song is about, is just getting over your fear of just talking about it. And yeah, so that's yeah, I wanted things to be a little deeper than a love song, because I feel like anybody can write a love song.
yeah.
There's really good ones out there.
Oh yeah, there are. There are. Well, weddings always need new love songs to play.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say you've learned? Because I saw one of your videos. I think it was one of the Zipporah instructional videos you were doing, or teaching videos, and you mentioned John Paul Jones. And what would you say you've learned the most from John Paul Jones, his bass playing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I spent a lot of time in cover bands, and I spent a lot of time playing other people's songs, and doing them in a way to just kind of get by. So being in a tribute band is a little different, because depending on what the tribute band wants, some tribute bands want to sound as live as possible, like when they're playing, they want to sound like the live version. Some people want to sound exactly like the record. Some people want to sound, as close to it as possible, or it just depends on the preference. But with Zipporah, we want to play it as close to the record as possible, but keeping the live aspect. So we have a lot of leeway to go and jam, and to kind of put our personal spin on certain things. But we do like to, really study what the players did. And John Paul Jones has really taught me a lot about using the bass melody to marry everything together. There are a lot of his bass lines that go along with what Page was doing, or what Plant was doing, or what Bonham was doing, or what they're all collectively doing. And he's taught me to really to make the bass another a bigger aspect than, I guess, what I originally was playing, and what I originally was doing in other bands. I was definitely carrying the bottom end and keeping it, this warm kind of feeling of the song. But there are a lot of things that John Paul Jones did that you have to replicate, because it's just so cool, and it really accents what this is doing, what that's doing. And even when you listen to Bonham, he had so many different rhythms within his rhythm. He's only playing with, he's got two hands and 2 feet, but he had all of this rhythm, and all these different things going on, and they all did that. They really did. They really pulled it together. And with bass and drums, you kind of have to share that commonality of how, a really, really solid section. And so to feel the different types of rhythms, and to play the different types of rhythms that he's playing with John Bonham, it really opened my door to what kind of things are out there that I could have been doing all along,
Right.
And marrying them in certain ways that I just didn't even get before. But you do have to continue along your path and just continue to get better and better. And you have to understand the things before you can really implement them. You kind of have to learn the rules to break the rules. And so after I'd learned the rules, and then after I had played in a lot of different bands and played a lot of different songs, I was definitely finally ready to play John Paul Jones the way that he really, he played. And I may not have been ready a couple years ago, to be honest, but he's taught me to up my game, and to really accent what everybody else is doing.
Right. So how you love it. How did the Zipporah, the connection to Zipporah, how did you become part of their band? How did that opportunity come about?
Very coincidental and very spontaneously. So I put out my record October, I think October of 2017, and somewhere around there. And February 2nd, which is crazy. February 2nd is a good day for me for some reason, but the year before, I had on February 2nd, 2017, I had told myself, I'm going to move to California. I'm going to write a record and I'm going to move to California. February 2nd, 2018, I get a text message from Tracy Guns. Hey, do you want to be in Zipporah? I said, yeah. He said, okay, hold on. And so Gretchen called me and we hit it off. And she didn't even know that I had done When the Levee Breaks on my record. And so she goes, well, I just have to ask you, is it your thing? Do you like Zeppelin? I said, did you not know I just did this song on my record? She goes, no, I had no idea. Like, yeah, Gary Hoey played guitar. She's like, oh my God, I love Gary. You know, so it was like a match made in heaven. All the pieces fit, you know.
Oh, wow.
So it worked out really well. And then I got on the phone with Clem, and she was just so sweet. And a week later, I went out for the audition. So I think I was the only one they actually auditioned, but they were talking to a couple other girls. But it just fit. We just, you know, we all connected instantly, and we played great together. And you know, I had a big show that weekend at House of Blues in Dallas, so I didn't even have the weekend to practice the songs. I had to wait until like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to practice these 3 Zeppelin songs that they gave me. One was Lemon Song, which is their hardest song to get note for note. So it was just really hard, but we did a lot of jamming and stuff, and it was really, really cool. And they were so nice, and just a really good atmosphere, and I knew that they would be very easy to work with. And
Wow.
they are. They're just, I love them so much. I'm so blessed and happy that we're all working together.
Oh, well, they're a great group. You know, Gretchen's been on my show, and Angelina Saros has been on the show. And I was going to ask you, I know I have this great set, and it looks great when I'm the only one on camera, and then when you came, I have time to adjust it, but I keep trying to get your photos better in the picture.
Yeah.
But, because this one, I don't know which way I need to go. I keep going this way, man. But this one, when I saw that the first time, I swear to God, for a second, I thought it was Gretchen with blonde hair. Something about your, and I'm a photographer, so I really notice the details.
Yeah.
Something about your profile there just reminded me of her. And but I think it always throws you off because you've got the white on like they all wear, and so wow, that's for a minute. But yeah, I love all these photos. And where was this on, like a single, or was this just a?
That was just the same photo shoot as the one below with the cat suit on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to work with this awesome photographer in Dallas, and so we did a lot of really cool shoots while I was there, and that's some of the photography from there.
Okay.
So I just did a bunch just so that I'd have pictures to put out, and I think that's kind of how you have to do it. If you're gonna do a photo shoot, you need to get 5 or 6 different outfits and different poses, and just get it over with, and you can use those for a while.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I tell people,
you're really into selfies.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think it's important for people to have professional photos, because I know when I ask someone for an interview, I really look for the professional photos, because those are the best ones for me to promote you with and do things like this with, rather than a cell phone, a crude thing, a photo with a cell phone, So it is much better. Yeah. But I did want to ask you, when you were talking about I just, what was it like moving from Dallas to Los Angeles? I can't imagine. There's a huge difference there. Was it a big adjustment for you, or?
Yeah, and I'm still adjusting, honestly. When I first came out here, I had a different a career opportunity open up, selling insurance, with a friend of mine, and I got my license. I did all the testing and everything. Like I did all of it and everything, and then all of a sudden, it just wasn't what it was presented to me as.
Uh-huh.
So, because I thought that that was going to be kind of a side job and something to keep me afloat until I start making more money doing music, because I planned on coming out and doing acoustic shows and things like that as well. So it didn't pan out. And then I had to start figuring out what else I was going to do with my time and to try and make money. And it really wasn't working out for me. But what I did do was I learned how to make websites. I
Oh,
learned a lot about marketing, and I learned a lot about photography and lighting and things like that. So
okay.
even though I was practically like bumming, I was learning a lot of things and setting myself up for the future. So that was good. Um, so a lot of ramen and spaghetti, but it worked out fine.
Oh,
I think the good things always come from you might have to suffer for a little bit to get to the good spots, but I'm definitely in a good spot right now, and I feel like the last couple of months I've been able to really open up a lot of doors. And even though we're still kind of under lockdown and COVID and stuff, I feel like just in the last couple of months of being able to get my studio going and getting things back on track, I feel better about everything. And I did my own website and everything as well, so that that it definitely was hard to move, and it was definitely worth it. Definitely
yeah.
worth it.
Okay.
And it's a career change too, because I was I was used to waking up early in the morning, going to work all day, and playing all night, playing music, not going out and partying, but playing music, and then doing it every day on rotation. So it was very hard. So coming out here, I feel like I've been on vacation, honestly, for the past year, but I've also been trying to find my way. So yeah, I mean, I guess you take the good with the bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're adjusting. I
Yeah.
am. What's your most memorable performance that I guess your one of your favorites, most memorable that stands
I
out,
guess
either in Dallas or where you are now? Doesn't matter which band, just
I guess all of them at this point, since we've not had a show in 6 months. No, I miss them all. They were all amazing. No, the last, actually, the picture that you have, the one you thought of, I was of Gretchen. That's at UC Berkeley in January. That was a great show because I hadn't seen the girls in a few weeks. I don't think we had very many shows in December, and that was at the end of January. So maybe 5 6 weeks we hadn't played, and so getting to the venue and hanging out. It's a beautiful venue. The backstage is gorgeous. Our booking agent lives up there, and so she was there. And Feather Witch opened, which was one of our favorite bands to tour with. It was packed. If you go to my Facebook, not my page, my artist page, but my Facebook, the back the backdrop picture is of the crowd, and that was just a really, really, really awesome show. And it was when we celebrated my birthday, so that was fun to get everybody was singing happy birthday to me. The year
uh,
before, we were at Great American Music Hall, and it was the same thing. And Gretchen and I, our birthdays are really close together. So we celebrated both of them last year, and it's kind of cool to get everybody to sing happy birthday to you in a like 600 person venue or 1,000 person venue. It's kind of cool.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm a big goofball, so it's like, all right, yeah, sing to me, you know.
Well, I bet that was fun.
Yeah. So,
That's
but
great.
yeah, I mean, I guess another one would probably be my very first show with my power trio. I got to open for King's X, which is one of my favorite bands. And so it was my very first show of my own band, fronting my own band, my own project. And at the end of the night, they were there signing autographs. And I had just walked up, and Doug Pennant looked over at me and he goes, "You have a really amazing voice." And I nearly died. I was like, "Oh my God, he loves my voice." I was so happy.
Oh, that's awesome, though. I like your voice. Yeah.
Thanks.
So, who do you do? Will we hear more of your voice, do you think, in the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I started doing this thing on my Patreon, and also I invite people who subscribe to my website, where I do like a few songs on acoustic. I'm gonna start posting them on my website and just little snippets on social media and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely going to start doing more of that. I'm looking into upgrading my PA when I can go back out and do acoustic shows. I have a good PA now, but I want to get it to where I can plug more than just me in, and maybe have like percussion, bass, or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be happening hopefully soon. But yeah, and then I'm working on another record. I've pretty much got it all written. I just have to do a little bit more arrangement and pick the players and the studio.
Oh, good, good. Well, who would you say some of your other influences been, not just as a bassist, but also like, their voice, another singer that.
Well, my favorite band is Clutch, and their lyrics, their music, everything about them, I just absolutely love. And so a lot of my musical stuff comes from that. I There was a show I did at House of Blues in Dallas a long time ago. I opened for a girl named Dorothy. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's was kind of an influence on my record as well. She's pretty new to the scene. I mean, they've been around for a little while at this point, but when I was writing my record, they were fairly new. And she's got a gorgeous bluesy voice, and she's a really
Her name's Dorothy.
Yeah, Dorothy. She's pretty young. I know she's like in her late 20s, and really beautiful girl. She's got this gorgeous voice.
Is she with a band or just by herself?
Yeah, the band is called Dorothy.
It is called Dorothy. Okay.
Yeah, it's her, and then she hires players, kind of like what I do.
Okay.
So yeah, and they're all rock and roll as well. So she's definitely got the same kind of vibe I'm going for. I mean, I think I've been more inspired by I don't know, maybe not so much female vocalists that much, because there aren't. I mean, there's a lot of rock female vocalists, but I don't know. I get more inspired by like Doug Pinnick, you know. He's just got this gorgeous soulful voice. John Corabi has the best. He's got the best rock voice in the business. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to probably should have thought about this question a little bit more.
No, that's okay. You're naming good ones.
There's so many, huh?
It's good. No, just any. You don't have to name all of them, but that's great. No, I know it's hard. I'm sure you're influenced by a lot of people, and that's good. That's good. Yeah.
You know, when I was younger, I definitely wanted to be like Joan Jett. You know, I thought she had a really cool rock
Yeah.
voice. And actually, the other picture behind you, the cover for MOKITA,
Uh-huh.
that cat suit, my my mentor Pete, he bought that for me when he was on tour. He found it at some like secondhand shop, and he's like, you have to wear this in a photo shoot coming up. You have to. And actually, it didn't fit me at the time that he bought it. So my singer ended up wearing it in one of our photo shoots in Honey. And then when I did this photo shoot, I could actually wear it. So, so it's kind of a spin off of, you know, Susie Quattro when she had her first record come out and she wore the cat suit.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of like little watch to her. So
Yeah.
but,
No,
I
I
thought
like
it was
it.
kind of cool. I was trying to bring in, you know, because I did When the Levee Breaks, and then my songs are a little bit more like modern rock. So it's kind of taking the classic and the new, right? So I have pink hair, but I have a 70s cat suit on kind of thing, you
Right.
know. So it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it's just kind of the old and the new together.
No, I like it. I do. I really do. I saw, well, we kind of talked about this in the comments that you had commented on YouTube about learning the piano more, and it
Yeah.
sounds like that's kind of something that you're going to keep pushing towards.
Yeah, and you know, when you're learning a new instrument and you already know a lot about music theory, it's, I mean, it's not that hard, but you still have to figure out where to put your hands, you know?
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm not using any cheat sheets or anything. Like I don't have any like letters, you know, or you know, where the keys are or anything. So I'm really trying to allow my my brain to really practice and to really retain the information. So it's little by little, and you know, I'm playing, you know, nursery rhymes at this point, but you start somewhere. And you know, my friend Kess actually, she sent me a song that she wrote over the weekend, and she started playing piano not too long ago, and she's playing beautifully now. So I'm like, okay, well, there's hope. You know, you just have to keep doing it. It's like anything. You have to be passionate about it. You have to keep doing it, and want to keep it around. You know, if you're
right.
gonna put it down, then you're probably gonna continue to start over every time. And so when I sit down to practice, I try to go as slow as possible to retain the information, and I try to do just a little bit of every day so that eventually I get to the point where I'm really, really comfortable with it. And so I don't see, I mean, I see maybe in the future being able to do some songs with Zipporah. But the problem is that if we're only going to do 2 songs on the keys, and you know, carrying a really big keyboard around is you know, and just another thing that you have to set up.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, there's going to be a time and a place for it, I guess, and
Oh
so I'm
yeah.
just ready for it. They definitely want me to start playing mandolin, so I need to get a mandolin and start playing that. Now, the mandolin though is the the strings are basically the same as the bass; they're just flipped upside down.
Hmm.
So this is going to be very interesting playing upside down. So can't wait for that.
That'll be fun. Well, what's your favorite part about what you do as an artist? Is it, like, I don't know, studio time, live performances, teaching? Because I know you teach too. So,
Yeah, there are so many things that go into what I do now and I absolutely love all of them. And I think anybody that knows me and knows me on the road or knows me anywhere would tell you that. Um, One of the things that I absolutely love now, now that I'm traveling with a very well known band, is the fact that anybody that comes to the show and they know who I am, I can instantly make a friend. And they're so excited to see me. And it's like it's my birthday every show, you know? Like it's like I can do no wrong. I show up and I'm like, "Hey everybody." And they're like, "Oh my god, it's you." And I'm like, "It's you." You know? It really is like one of my favorite parts of this whole thing. But musically, I guess would be able is that I'm at a level now where if I wanted to choose a certain musician, I could probably get them to work with me, which I have. You know, I've worked with some really heavy hitters on my last record, and I want to continue doing that. So I mean, yeah, I think just the awe aspect of everything that I do is a lot of fun for me, and it's kind of why I keep doing it because I could be here writing songs by myself and not share them with the world and get a reaction and not really care that anybody hears it or sees it or whatever, but to get or just to get the people that are my fans to go, you know, they love to hear more and they want to hear more. It makes it makes me feel like I'm doing something for someone else. And
Right.
that's really nice.
Well, good. That's great. I mean, that's a good feeling, I know. Where would you like to see? I know I hate this question because I'm not sure how I would answer it sometimes either because I want everything to come so quickly. But where would you like to see yourself, say, in 5 years down the road? Like, what's your maybe your next big goal?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm kind of the same way. I write things down by day, and I try to accomplish little things by day. So big goals for me are very hard, but I still see myself touring in 5 years, and hopefully with a couple more of my own records under my belt. I'd like to um, get on a tour with one of my favorite bands, like Clutch or King's X. I'd like to, yeah, definitely just keep going and keep doing what I'm doing right now. I don't, I'm definitely having the time of my life, you know, when I'm out
Yeah.
there and on the road and hanging out with the girls and playing in front of everybody and seeing all my friends everywhere. We have fans that travel like hundreds of miles to come to a show, and then they'll travel with us to go to the next show. And it's really fun to have that family of people that are super supportive and stuff. So I really am I'm along for the ride, you know. I really enjoy this right now. And so maybe
Yeah.
a couple more records and maybe a tour of my own or on a tour with another big band, but definitely still probably doing Zipporah and seeing all my friends and stuff.
Good. Well, I'm glad. Is there a dream place you would like to perform or in a dream person you'd like to perform with or and it can be and don't think as big as you want. Is there if you could play anywhere in the world, where would you love to perform?
Um, with all my travels and everywhere that I've been, the most the coolest place probably if I could do I think actually like I would like to do some busking in Venice.
Somewhat?
Some busking, just me and acoustic in
Uh-huh.
Venice, Italy.
In Venice. Okay. Cool.
Like in the streets and stuff. I think that
Yeah.
would just be so cool, you know, because I don't speak Italian and a lot of people know the American music, so it would be the only way that I would be able to really express myself there.
And
Because I've been to
communicate.
Venice many times, you know, and you know, a tall blonde walking around is definitely like not normal.
Yeah.
But I don't get to communicate with anybody. I don't really get to like have interactions unless I'm buying something or whatever, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I love traveling abroad. I find some of the nicest people when I travel abroad, you know, because they
Mhm.
are there to kind of help you, you know. They
Yeah.
realize you're in a different country and they're like, oh, let me help you, you know. So maybe like Venice would be great. I like Santorini, on top of sand, like because there's two sides, right? There's the black beach, which is really cool, and then there's big cliffs.
Uh-huh.
To play like a concert there would be really cool. Um, Red Rocks in Colorado, maybe.
Mhm.
To play with someone. Like if I had maybe like a super group where I was the bass player and I had like some really awesome big name, like some of my favorite players.
Uh-huh.
That would be really cool. I mean, I know that happened to friends of mine. You know, they get in these like badass super groups and they get to tour the world, and you know, it's really cool. So, something like that would be really
Cool.
I don't know, for all of it, just whatever, just bring it to me.
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
play on with all the people.
Okay, well, I'm just going to ask one more song, and then I want to ask you about question I asked you about your taco stuff. So what do you do for fun to escape besides, it has nothing to do with music? Something that recharges you, I guess. You know.
I like to read a lot. I read a lot. I have, I don't have them out right now. They're all kind of stuffed in my closet and stuff. But I have like 400 books, and they're all nonfiction.
Yeah.
So I like to read about history. I like to read about internal medicine. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm really into like um, uh, like natural medicines and stuff. So I want to know both sides, and I want to know what's out there and stuff. And I feel like there's a lot of there are a lot of um, you know, there are a lot of things that we miss by listening to other people, and a lot of them can be found in books. And I feel like, you know, if you turn the TV off and really, you know, read a little bit more, that you would get a better grip on life and how to deal with things, and it really relaxes your mind, and can take you to different places, and really just makes you think a little bit better. I'm a big advocate of reading. So I think in my free time, I do a lot of reading, and I do a lot of planning as well. I have several different whiteboards that I'm always planning something out and doing something. But my life does definitely revolve around music and my career as of right now. So, but reading's fun.
Yeah, I like to read. I love reading. I read a lot of personal development books and just a lot of different things, you know. Yeah. So just anything to keep me positive. So that's good that you do that and you have that escape. Well, tell me a little bit about your taco sauce before we go. Were you a chef or something, or a great cook, or how did that come about?
I've always cooked. I've been on a journey to becoming vegan since I was 8 years old. And I just recently became full-time plant-based vegan as of this year. I've noticed some tremendous differences in my body. I was, you know, I was lactose intolerant, but didn't realize how bad it was affecting me. So when I got rid of it, I realized that, you know, it's just so much better, right? So I'm trying to encourage people to cook more with flavor and with plant-based things. Of course, I'm not an advocate. Like, I definitely have done it for my own reasons, health reasons, and also, you know, I don't want to eat my little animal friends either. But I'm not like you have to be vegan, you know. I've made the choice since I was 8 years old to not eat cows or pigs.
Wow.
10, 12 years I haven't eaten fish, or not fish, but chicken, and I stopped eating fish. Most of last year I didn't eat any fish, and then dairy and stuff like that. So I've gone on this journey. So the taco sauce is just kind of like the first part of me, like coming out and saying, okay, this is how this is what I do, you know. And so this is you know, it's a safe taco sauce. There's no GMOs and no like additives or anything like that. It's all, you know, fresh ingredients and stuff. But this taco sauce, I don't actually make it. There's a company called Jay's Sauce, and he actually, or it's California Sauce Solutions. Anyways, he makes all of the sauces, and some of the sauces have been featured on Hot Ones, which is that interview where they do the wings, and it's different sauces. And so I really believe in his company, and he makes some incredible sauces. And so this taco sauce I really love because there's a lot of flavor with just the right amount of bite. And so I'm also really into branding. And so the graphic artist that is doing the labels for the sauce was to help, you know, really coming up with some great ideas for it and stuff. So branding a taco sauce or any type of sauce is kind of like a newer thing for musicians. A lot of them have gotten into that. They've gotten into like liquors and things like that. So they're launching these products, and so I just kind of I wanted to start doing this because I feel like it would sell, and it has been selling really well. I'm kind of blown away at the demand for it, so I'm really excited about it. Everybody seems to really like it. And you know, it's a taco sauce. It's perfect on tacos, but I cook a lot of things with it. You know, I put it in a lot of different things. I put it in ramen. I put it in, you know, I put it on top of like little patties and stuff, and French fries. You know, it's really good.
Yeah.
So,
So it's not actually you didn't create it, but you're sort of, he's using your, I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, I'm branding it.
Yeah.
But I'm branding it in the hopes that people also are interested in how I eat, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And my lifestyle, because it is my lifestyle, and I cook a lot. I cook all the time, and I love to cook, and I've been cooking since I was a kid. So the journey that I took, you know, the journey that I took of getting to this point of being vegan started with me cooking for myself. When I was 7, 8 years old, I was cooking for my dad and my brother because my mom on Monday nights would go bowl, and I just thought, okay, well, I'll cook. And so I started cooking and started learning my way around the kitchen. And I kid you not, what I did was I just went to my mom's cookbook and found something interesting and found that we had all the ingredients and just put it together. And that's how I learned how to cook. Awesome. And so that's what I would do over the years. And, you know, I've had to be very creative because back in that time, we didn't have, I think Morningstar just came out. They just came out with like 2 different types of things. And my mom would often forget that I needed special treatment, you know, or I needed, sometimes she would make a big thing of spaghetti and forget to put sauce aside for me, you know. So I just took it upon myself to start, you know, cooking for myself, right? Because I gotta eat, right? So so I do cook with the sauce all the time. My favorite thing is to you know, just make gravies or make bases with onions and garlic and put some of the sauce in there, and, you know.
I think it would be good on eggs. Have you tried it on eggs?
A lot of people. I don't eat eggs anymore.
Yeah, okay.
There's a fake egg that I could eat it on. I just haven't tried it yet, but a lot of people have been telling me they eat it on eggs for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great. I eat toast every morning. I love toast, and so I put it on my toast. Especially avocado toast. It's really good on avocado toast.
Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
I'm trying to get. I'm working my way to eco-friendly packaging as well. I'm about 40% there, but I've just got to get to the point where I'm not using so much plastic and things like that.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so I'm trying to be as environmental as possible, environmental friendly as possible, and it's going to be a little bit of a journey. But I want to put out more sauces, and I want to put out recipes and things like that. And I do talk about a lot of this stuff on my Patreon or on my my private Zooms that I have with my Patreon people or the people on my website and things like that. And so there's been a lot of interest actually, so that's great.
Good, good. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to order some. I ordered your tank, and I told Michael yesterday. I said, yeah, I should have ordered that sauce when I ordered the tank. I don't know what I but I got in a hurry, so but I'll definitely get some. And so about the contest, I think what we're gonna have to do, since I can't see all the other platforms, I saw that we were on Facebook. I went on there, but it's not. I don't know if you tried to go on your phone and look. And I can see comments. Can you see chats on your end? I can see some on here. But when I went on Facebook on my page, we're there, but it's not. Maybe it's you know what I mean? It has the error like it's over or something. So I don't know what that means.
Okay,
I don't want to click on it and mess up my platform here. So. But what we can do is we'll check. I can check all the different platforms on my different pages and see what comments are. And
yeah, I'm trying to look right now.
it's
kind of hard because we're streaming so many different places.
Yeah, because we're on a couple of my pages, my personal page and Twitter and YouTube. So we'll just kind of see. I can keep checking because some people might not have been able to get on live. But so I'll let you be the judge if it's somebody on live or just. You know what I was thinking? We should ask a question about the interview to make sure they watched the whole thing.
Yeah, there's some people that I don't know where the comments would be though.
I can see some right here in my little chat.
Oh, you can? Okay.
I see Pete and Gonzalo and
I don't.
Michael, but I can't see all of them on here. It's because I'm only on. Yeah, so we'll just have to play it by ear and kind of go from there. If that sounds good to you.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do. Maybe you should pick one, because I probably know some of these people. So maybe you should just pick a name that you see, because I can't really see.
Well, I can't see them all either. So that's what I'm saying. We'll probably have to announce it on Facebook after we go.
Okay. We'll just do that.
And we'll do it that way. I think that might be good.
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Yeah, and that way we can give some people time since because on my side of the world, people are still at work, so they might not have been able to get on live. So we'll see. But anyway, I do want to thank you for being here, Holly. It was really fun learning more about you, and I really enjoyed having you. Is there anything you want to announce or mention we didn't talk about, or?
Well, I mean, stay tuned. I've got some things coming out soon that will definitely be of interest to a lot of people. I'm, just trying to. I'm just going every day, trying to continue to brand myself more and more. So there's always something happening. So if anybody wants to check out my my website, there's always something new going on there. If they want to have more conversations with me, or if they want some more one-on-one time, I do that a lot on my Patreon, sometimes on my website and stuff too. So there's a lot of ways to get a hold of me, or if you just want to talk about music, I try my hardest to reply to everybody on social media and stuff, but sometimes it just gets overwhelming. But yeah, I'm here to teach, and I'm here to I can be a good influence to, you know, just if there's maybe like a girl that wants to get into music and doesn't know how or what the next steps are, or even, I mean, I'm not going to say just girls or anything, but a lot of girls like to go, you know, a lot of girls rather have, you know, a girl to look up to. So if you have a daughter or anything and they're really, you know, they want to get into music and they don't know how, I love talking to kids about that. And so anyways, yeah, if anybody wants to get a hold of me, they can get a hold of me on social media or my website, or join my Patreon.
Yeah, and she's on all, and it's hollywestmusic.com, and I'll put all this on the YouTube video in the bottom. I'll have your websites on there and your Facebook link and all that, and Instagram, and so we'll have all that on there so people can find you. And I want to also thank the viewers for their continued support. Make sure you share the replay of this, whether you're on Facebook. You can share it everywhere. People can share it everywhere from YouTube. There'll be a replay on YouTube on my channel, Tamarah's Closet. And so make sure everybody shares the heck out of that. You can share what you see on Facebook and Twitter. And I'm going to see if I can figure out how to shorten it and get it on IGTV. And I'll see if I can do that, and that'll get you some more exposure on Instagram as well. But so I also want to tell my guests, join me next week, next Friday, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a South African artist. She's a singer and an actress, Valeska Moore. She'll be here. So I want to wish everyone to your own success, and keep on living, and just rock it. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Okay, I just took this off. You don't have to hang up yet. Let's see, I ended broadcast.